Hello there, my name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. In this video, I will be unboxing and showing you the newest Hasbro Star Wars Black Series publishing wave, which includes Black Krrsantan, redeemed Darth Vader, Princess Leia, and Sergeant Kreel. I hope, through this video I can show you some comparisons and close-ups, and you can make an informed decision on whether or not you want these figures. Hopefully, either way, you still find this information helpful. Let's get to the figures. So I hosted an event for Toys R Us here in Canada called Toys R Us Con 2022, and I got a chance to unbox these figures. Shoutouts to and a big thank you to Hasbro and Toys R Us for getting these figures out early to me so that I can unbox them and show them to everybody. Here's a follow-up review. We have the boxes for Star Wars Infinity Darth Vader, Princess Leia, Black Krrsantan, and of course Sergeant Kreel. Now, I did unbox these on a live stream. However, if you didn't catch the video, A, maybe go check it out afterwards. But B, here's a quick chance for you to look at the figures without having to go through a 3-hour stream. This is my favorite one of the wave so far because, of course, Leia is such an iconic character in Star Wars, but also like a strong female character you see on movies. But a lot of her figures, they're in they don't seem like such action oriented. There's the Endor Leia that's out there for Black Series, which yes, that's one of them, and it's a fantastic figure. But also to see this version from the comics where she's still wearing a very Leia-esque white outfit on brand, but it also has this kind of beige sculpted shawl, scarf, pashmina, all of those words. She comes with these beige gloves. I think the whole outfit overall is fantastic. She's got this kind of holster. I mean, a lot of people in Star Wars have a holster like this, but obviously the first thing that comes to mind is Han Solo's he has on his costume outfits. It's only a costume for us, but for him it's an outfit. You get these brown boots on her, and what I like about her for action poses, she goes in the comics, she goes on missions for the rebellion. She does a lot of active stuff, so she comes with 2 blasters. The other one here that fits into the holster, which that's always a bonus to be able to fit in there and have it look nice. So it slides in there nicely. The cape, this is plastic, this is not soft goods. So again, there are bonuses, pros and cons to soft goods and plastic capes. Soft goods capes will give you more range. If you're not a toy photographer or you don't do crazy poses, you do just a simple vanilla display on your shelf, this kind of cape works perfect because it's stylized, it drapes the way you want it, and it looks good on shelf. But if you want her to do a lot of action stuff, you can see these parts here are kind of on top of her shoulders. If I try to lift her arm up, it only goes about that far, which, that's not terrible. It starts covering her mouth a little bit here, her neck, chin, which is pretty common in Canadian winters, so I'm not mad at that. But hey, this is a single jointed elbow, which gets you pretty awesome range here to be able to hold the blaster. There's no butterfly joint, but there is a little bit of a cavity here, so you can get a little bit more movement. See how the elbow kind of goes in a little bit more. Face sculpt is pretty sweet. It's a little bit glossy. I think you can put a matte coat on there to kind of make it a little bit duller and less shiny, but look at the detailing they put on her hair. Princess Leia is obviously known for her look and her hairstyles, so I feel like they've definitely nailed it here for this hair sculpt. Ab articulation isn't much. There's a side to side. There isn't a deep crunch, but you get a pretty good range, a double knee, a boot swivel, and an ankle swivel and pivot. So you do have all that there. Again, the single jointed elbows go really deep for a good gun holding pose like this. There's the wrist articulation, but the gloves here are actually molded on, so there is not another POA there. She comes with a C grip on her left and a trigger finger hand on her right, so she's able to hold both of her packaged weapons at the same time. And again, this is my most excited one for this wave, and it did not disappoint. it's great. Up next is the Star Wars Infinities Redeemed Darth Vader. Infinities is a series of comics. It's almost like Marvel's What If, where something changes in the Star Wars movie and you get a whole different timeline. It's kind of like an alternate timeline or universe. And in this one, Vader is redeemed. There's a panel in the comic where he comes out in his redeemed suit. Some people call it the Moon Knight suit. Some people call it the Winter Gear version, but this is the Winter Gear version Vader. Everything has gone white, save for the controls on his chest panel. Over here, the soft goods remain the same. And in the comic, he doesn't show his new lightsaber. He doesn't show if he changed his kyber crystal while he comes out in redeemed suit. So he comes with, in the package, his red lightsaber with a detachable blade. So he's still able to wield a lightsaber. I'm not sure where my Black Series Darth Vader is, but this looks, I do have the one where the helmet comes off and has the Anakin Skywalker burnt head underneath. This one does not have that. It's possible it's just using the rest of the body that's the same, and it's been repainted. But there is a break here in the shoulder so that you can get him to move his arm around. Should be able to go up there. It's a single elbow, for those wondering, but the elbow does bend past 90 degrees, which is fantastic. The glove does not have a swivel here, but it does have the wrist swivel. The ab articulation isn't a little bit more than Leia, but there's some movement there as well. You have the soft goods that feeds through under the belt, same as the previous version, and there's a thigh cuts, a double jointed knee, so you can do a Moon Knight style Vader shot if you need. There's no boot swivel, but there is the ankle swivel and the up down. And again, a white Vader, an all white Vader might not be for everyone. I don't know if anyone out there was like, I need a white Vader in my collection. But now that I have it in hand, it looks pretty cool and it does kind of stand out. So, let me know in the comments, did this change your mind? Do you now want to get this redeemed Vader or Star Wars Return of the Jedi Infinities Vader? Let me know. Next up is Sergeant Kreel. He's a character from the comics. It's a special stormtrooper unit. And I remember reading in the comics he wields a lightsaber. I'm like, man, that would be a really cool figure to have. But also, to me, it might be like a really simple kit bash. Just move some pieces around and give him a lightsaber. Well, now, years later, here is an actual official figure of him. Very familiar stormtrooper helmet. The pauldron looks beautiful. The red on here is sharp, and I love the crest, the Imperial emblem here on the shoulder pauldron. It looks fantastic. Some of the things that make him stand out a little bit, his chest plate doesn't have like some of that chest plate definition that regular stormtroopers do. He also has some pouches here on his left, right above his left elbow that's been added on. So you see it moves a little bit, so it's an additional piece there. His left wrist has this communicator, I'm assuming. It looks like the thing that baseball players use, catchers, when they have scouting reports for players on the other team and how they bat, but that's an unattached piece. So maybe if you want to take it off, put it on somebody else, you should be able to pop this hand off and slide this out. It is not glued on. He also has this section of his armor black, a pouch on his right side that dangles from the hip, this holster on the left back side of his hip that dangles. You can put his blaster in there, and also a left thigh pouch. Apart from that, he is single jointed at the elbow. Fantastic range there. You can see he can do that. There is a bit of a butterfly joint here at the shoulder, so he can get in a little bit more, out a little bit more. He does have this shoulder piece which touches at the top. Ab articulation, pretty sweet range. Stormtroopers aren't gonna go crazy into ab crunch. This gets a very, very good amount, I think, sufficient for how I like it. And you can do a little dance too. Ha, ha, ha. Stormtroopers have these plastic pouches on the front of their belts, which are soft plastic, fortunately, so you can still kind of move their legs around. This is also a single jointed knee. You have the ankles that move forward and back a little bit, and the ankle rockers as well. Let's not forget he has a lightsaber with detachable blade. And on the back of Sergeant Kreel, he has this additional piece. Just a great looking stormtrooper altogether, and you definitely need it if you have a nice Imperial collection building out your squad on your shelf. Finally, there is Black Krrsantan, character that came out of the comics we saw recently on live action in the Book of Boba Fett. You have his scar here. This is one of the ones where I wanted to reserve judgment until I have the figure physically in hand to make any judgments, but obviously the character is a lot bulkier and heftier in the TV show and also in the comics as well. This, I'm fairly certain, is just using the Chewbacca buck repainted with a new vest harness over here. The paint is very simple. It's black all over. There aren't any washes on it or anything. The deco is pretty simple. There's a new head sculpt here that has a scar, a growling face. Some of the braids here are painted brown with gold hair elastics or ties, scrunchies. And also the armor here, it's just in the same plastic that it was molded in, just a very dull goldish color. There's no extra deco hits on this. There are some cool patterns here on the front, on the chest, on the cod piece, I guess, and on the back. But again, this leaves a lot to be desired in my books. Hopefully, they dedicate this as the comic version, and they're working on tooling a brand new, bigger Krrsantan that will go with your Black Series Book of Boba Fett characters. BK does come with his bowcaster. It does come in two pieces. This cross piece here does come off, much like the Black Series Chewbacca's bowcaster. There's a clip on the back of his armor which allows you to clip that in. Which way would you put it? Would you put it face up? Now the box has him holding this weapon here, so it would have been cool to see that as well, but that doesn't really help some of the shortcomings of this figure for BK. However, hopefully someone is working on this. If you don't have the Black Series Chewbacca, to give you an idea of the articulation, there's a lot of space here for the shoulder armor, so you can give him some movement, but again, it kind of gives this look that he's wearing armor that's too big for him. These are single jointed elbows. They actually don't bend that far. The hands rotate. The elbow does rotate here as well, so it's not just a bend, but it does bend, but it does rotate. The ab articulation, since he's wearing this armor, I don't know how much we're going to get out of it. He can lean side to side a little bit, but front to back, it's nothing crazy. You have a single knee for BK and a well-disguised upper thigh rotation. And based on the design of these feet, there isn't much movement here, side to side or front back. So definitely not the strongest in this wave. Hey, if you like this review and you want to see more toy content here on the channel, you want to make sure you find your way back to other stuff that's happening here, please make sure you are subscribed. So that's the new publishing wave. Thank you to Hasbro and Toys R Us for sending those over so I can unbox them and now get a chance to do a quick photo review and show everyone here. What do you think of these figures? Did this video help you decide that you want these figures or you don't want them? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I hope you got some good information here. Share it with your friends on your social media. Let them know that there's this video here. Thank you for watching and keep toying around. Peace.